No Maxamanda Bazaradan, send the Mokosia Swade, Untertakaman, no Maxamanda Bazaradan, send the Mokosia Swade, Untertakaman, no Maxamanda Bazarada, 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 no Maxamanda Bazaradan.
Hello, my name is Yujiro Seki. I'm a director, writer, and the producer of the Carving the Divine. I am almost ready to produce Carving the Divine, which is 1,400-year-old Japanese wood carving tradition, Buddhist wood carving tradition. So today, I invited somebody who already watched Carving the Divine. I'm very excited. Special person, special guest. I would like to invite you, Stephen H. Hayes. Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Hayes.
Oh, it's great to be here. Great to be here.
Great. So, for people who don't know anything about you, please tell us who you are and what do you do?
Well, back in the 1960s, I studied karate in America, and I read a book that talked about the ninja of Japan, and I became so fascinated with this martial art and the history and application. And so I went to Japan, managed somehow to find this ninja dojo, and studied the ninja martial art in Japan. And also when I was there, I became fascinated with the Buddhist tradition and got involved with Shugen training, which is kind of interesting. Buddhism, Shinto, some shamanism, Taoism, it includes everything. So it's like perfect for today. And I came back to America in the 80s. I had married a Japanese lady, and she also was studying these things. And we would go back and forth to Japan through the 1980s and 1990s and study with our teachers. And we had two daughters, and we would leave them with my wife's family down in Kyushu, Kumamoto. And so they grew up speaking Japanese and went to Japanese school, but also American. And just last year, I gave my school to the chief instructor. So I say I'm retired now, but that just means I don't have a school I run. This is my house dojo. We have a dojo built in our house, and I do private lessons and podcasts and looking to kind of reinvent myself now that I'm 73. So that gives a quick summation of my background.
Wonderful. I might ask you some silly question, but are you ninja?
Well, I have studied the ninja martial art. I'll say that.
Oh, okay, maybe there's some secret mission that we don't know anything about. We cannot, we can know about, huh? Great. So you watched Carving the Divine. So what was your first impression?
Well, my first impression was I was amazed young Japanese are still interested in this kind of classic practice. I think people in America now, they don't have patience to learn these fine skills. And I wonder about Japan also. Young people maybe don't have patience to learn. And so, number one, I was very impressed at how sincere they were. Because these teachers, these busshi, they have a skill, a very refined skill, and they're looking for someone, maybe one person, maybe only two, who can carry this skill on So they don't have time, to like compliment, oh, this is a beautiful face, They only point out, what do you need to move ahead? What will make this better? That's all they talk about. What will make this better? And I'm kind of surprised that young Japanese can identify with that learning process. Second thing that I was impressed with is, the beauty of these statues that are carved. You can make a decoration, a little decoration. Oh, it's a nice statue. It looks good. But there's something beyond that, a real master. That statue kind of talks. It has a message. You can see it in the face or the posture. And I'm just amazed at how beautifully they can create this hunk of wood that really becomes something that has a message. And just to see it maybe changes you.
So is there any particular moment that you reflect upon your own life? Something like that?
Well, that's a great question. I think when I went to Japan in the 1970s to study ninja martial art, it was very similar to my karate training in America. My karate training was run by military people. And military people, they kind of gruff, and they use a lot of sarcasm. And you had to just take that. And in Japan, not everybody in the dojo liked me. Some people thought Japanese headmaster shouldn't teach a foreigner. And, so when I'm training with them, I have to be very careful. They could break my shoulder or, put out my eye. I had to be very careful. So maybe it made me a better student. I had to pay so much attention to not being damaged or tricked. Maybe they showed me something a little bit wrong, and I have to watch what the others are doing. And so I say I had to steal the technique. But I was determined. To learn this. It was so much more beyond what I'd studied in America. So I was absolutely determined, and nothing that they could do would talk me out of it. I don't know how many young Japanese are happy with such training nowadays. This was like 3 generations ago. There was me as a 25-year-old. I had my children later. My children had children, and they still train in the dojo. They chase me with swords. And so that's 3 generations. Maybe stuff changes in Japan too. I don't know. But yeah, that I really can identify with that determination. I'm going to get it. And the teacher is not going to talk me out of it.
Very, very interesting. You told me about the stealing. That's it, huh? Probably they didn't really teach you exactly, the techniques and everything, and you're the one who has to figure out from your masters, no? I think.
Yeah. And I tried to warn other Americans, this is the way it is. And a few of them paid attention to me, but others, people would go to this dojo after I made it famous. I wrote several books in the 1980s, made this dojo famous. Now thousands of people are doing this martial art. when I started, there was only 15 people in the whole world doing this ninja martial art. So I try to warn people, no, they're going to try and trick you. They're testing you. They're testing you. And some people don't pay attention to me, and others do. So they have their own experience. And I think it might be similar in the world of carving these statues. A teacher says, do this, and he shows them, how, in the movie, there's carving toes, little toes of a foot, and there's a young woman, she's trying to carve those toes, and teacher shows her. But if the student ignores the teacher once or twice, teacher figures, oh, this person doesn't want to learn. So they don't bother them anymore. They just let them do what they're doing. And that was the same thing in the dojo. They would tell me, oh, do this. And yeah, but I didn't have the skill yet. I knew what they said, and I tried my best, but I couldn't make it work yet. I hadn't had enough practice, and they would tell me again, I understand that, but I have to turn my knowledge into my physical skill. And so then they'd say, oh, he's not doing it right. So, no, I had to stay committed. I had to keep practicing it. Oh, now I get it. Now I can do it. I think it's the same thing with these wood carvers. A master shows how to make these toes, just the toe of the whole statue. They've done it so many times, they can make it perfect. Oh, just do it this way. Well, yeah, but I have to learn. I have to get that skill, translated into my hands and tools. And one other thing I'll say, it could be that some people are born with complicated English word, proclivity. Means like a proclivity where I can do this better. Maybe playing a musical instrument, maybe doing martial arts, maybe speaking. They have an ability that just puts them above everybody else. And they all study, they practice, but this one person is just above everyone else. And it could be these carvers are looking for that person.
Very interesting perspective. So would you say the way of busshi is very similar to way of a ninja martial art or martial art in general?
Well, I think so, if taught in the classical way. Now it's 2022. And in the ninja dojo, it's become so big, and so many foreigners that, things happen. And I don't think maybe they're as strict or as tough when I was training, Now, people who don't like me say, oh, he's just bragging, he's bragging. But I think, honestly, may not be as tough. And I don't know about the world of busshi. Maybe nowadays, carver does compliment the student. He looks, oh, this is a good statue. This is a good statue. Here's how to make a great statue. Maybe they do talk this way now. I don't know.
Interesting. So, sometimes I get like a criticism from Western people that, well, they should be teaching like this. You should like treat people with love and compassion, and this is considered power harassment and things like that. So what would you say to those people?
That's a very, what do we call it? Generation Z American attitude, where we have to really feel, think about how people feel. And, my parents, they didn't grow up that way, and they had the Great Depression in the 1920s. And then they finally got to be about 20 years old. World War II. Oh, we have to go into war. And then they came home and they put on a white collar or blue collar. We have to go to work. And there was no time for much leisure or my feelings. I sublimate my feelings and just get it done. And then now so many generations from that, we have to be so careful. Old ones have to be so careful, talking on social media and making a speech. How do people feel? How do they, so some people might criticize, they may misunderstand. They say, oh, this person is mean. This busshi, this guy, this teacher, he's mean. He doesn't think about how those people feel. Possible. Another way to look at it is, hey, he has only a few more years left on earth, and he is searching for somebody whose skill is like way above. He's looking for that one. And so he doesn't have time to sip a little tea and say nice things. No, he's looking. He finds one, and I've got to get all my knowledge to you before I go. So he doesn't say this, but he's implying, is that okay if I just get all my knowledge to you? So when you do something a little less, I'm going to show you how to make it more. When you do something a little bit off, I'll show you how to do it on. And even in America, I think there are people who want that kind of instruction. Don't worry about my feelings. I want to get really good. I want to be a master martial artist or master wood carver or master of playing koto or master of riding a horse. I don't have time to be babied. Give me the information I need. I don't think there are a lot of people like that. In America now, people have an easy, I think, easy life. Now we're going through some financial troubles, difficulty. People don't understand work. I don't want to work. I'm not going to work. I don't know how they pay the bill, but a lot of people have chosen not to work. And so it's a confusing time for young people, especially young ones and old ones. But there are a few people, who find some passion. This motivates me. This is something I really want to do. And nobody is going to talk me out of it. I'm going to become a master for myself. I want to do this. And the world says, oh, hey, he's a master, and celebrates this. And I think if I'm honest with people, that's kind of the way I did it. When I went to Japan and studied this ninja martial art, a couple people had heard of a ninja, but they thought it's old. It's some old historical thing. It doesn't exist anymore. When I came back, I was one guy with this martial art that nobody had seen before. And it's very different from jujitsu or karate. And I became famous. I wrote some books and did some teaching. I became famous, but that's not why I did it. I wanted to know this. I wanted to learn this. I wanted to have that power and that skill. I was doing it for me. Even if nobody had paid attention to me, I still had that passion. And I think maybe these master wood carvers are looking for a few people like that, you know, not just a hobby, a life commitment to turning out a masterpiece. Anyway, I found the film very interesting.
What would people get out of by watching Carving the Divine?
Well, you know, I think by watching Carving the Divine, you get a very interesting view of, I think, a little known area of expertise that maybe even Japanese people don't think about too much, you know? I noticed in trips to Japan, so many of these carvings now, they come from China or other places, you know, and they make them pretty fast and it looks nice, you know, it looks nice. But, you know, for a Japanese who believes in this, I don't think even the Japanese people think that much about, you know, what it would take to learn this skill. You know, it's like being like Miyadaiku, a temple builder. You know, you don't just go to trade school to learn how to do that. You have to apprentice yourself. And there are people who do that, but, you know, I wonder, you know, a lot of people look and it looks like a long uphill journey. And just to make sushi, you know, I was told, oh, it takes 10 years to learn how to make sushi and pick the fish. And now in America, anybody, you know, go to a sushi restaurant, look behind the counter, Mexican people working. They don't take 10 years, you know, and the sushi's pretty good. It's pretty good. And it's not, oh gosh, Rumiko's sister and her husband take us down in Kyushu to this place where the ships come in, they bring the fish. Oh, the sushi is just fabulous. So we're used to that kind of sushi, but it's not too bad. And I think that, you know, these carvings done in other countries, it's cheaper. And it is okay. It's really okay. But to make that bridge, you know, maybe like 86%, it's good, 86%, and that little bit more to be 99%. Most people don't appreciate it. So I think maybe it's interesting. What does it take to carve it? Of course, you know, bring this face to life. You know, it's a serious face, or it's a compassionate face, or it's, you know, a fudo, serious, you know, wrathful face. What is it to carve it? But also, from the other way around, what is it to appreciate that? Oh, nice statue. No, don't say that. Just really look at it and appreciate it. Look at the face. Look at the way the hand is. The hand isn't like this. The hand is like this. Oh, very different. Fudo grabs the sword, you know, this way. It doesn't hold it this way. It's this way, you know, and you can see the musculature of the arm. And oh, what does that mean to me? What does that mean when I see this sword? This is Buddhism. It's supposed to be compassionate, you know, butterflies and flower blossoms. And what does the Fudo sword, what does that mean in the Buddhism? You know, so I teach people, I say, well, Fudo is a feeling. And if life were teaching you, life is like a sword and it's saying, cut it out. Cut what out? The way you talk negatively about everything. cut it out. It's not working. It's not helping. Cut it out. Oh, the way you live your life, you're always 3 minutes late and you're $5 short and you're confused, and cut it out. Cut it out. That's not helping your life. Your attitude, the way you think. Oh, I'm not very good at this, and the old people have all the money and I don't have a. Cut it out. So that's what the Fudo is demonstrating with this sword. Cut it out. Cut it out. Quit whining. Quit complaining. Quit stealing. Quit abusing people. It's not working to get you what you want. In this wood carved arm, all that's being communicated. So maybe people would enjoy looking at what these statues mean, because in our religions in America, we don't have statues. Well, maybe Catholic people have a crucifix statue, maybe Virgin Mary, but generally we don't have statues. And Islamic people don't even have paintings, no picture of a person. So in Japan, a statue is very important. It's a model. It's a model for us to follow. So I think that might be interesting to Western people too, to see, oh, this is a model and how it affects how I see this statue. Maybe watching the movie will bring a little more cultural awareness.
Wonderful, wonderful. So would you recommend everybody to watch Carving the Divine? I'm like obviously asking like a silly question, but
yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to it, because I think you've had various versions of it. Now you have the finished product, and I think that some new music you have in there, and you're creating an experience, an in-depth look at this. So I hope that film festivals, and maybe it ends up on Netflix or something like that. I hope people will take this film seriously.
So Mr. Hayes, I'm going to do the crowdfundings in order to raise the funds for distribution of Carving the Divine. So what do you think?
Well, that's become very popular in years. I'm always amazed, when I see these crowdfund things. Sometimes enormous amount of money is raised. You might offer a crowdfunding, but sometimes if you offer a little gift, I don't know, maybe it's a little half carved, canon or fudo. If they offer so much money, you'll send them this little, even half carved, crudely carved. Maybe if they donate thousands of dollars, you give them a little nicer statue. That might be something to think about. Or, if they contribute some money, they get maybe like a DVD or download of the actual movie that they can watch. But I would encourage you, see what happens with a crowdfund.
Yes, thank you so much. Actually, if you contribute certain amount, like $30 or so, people can watch the Carving the Divine even before I release it in public. That's first thing. And with the $50, you can even watch deleted scenes that never made it to the final cut. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And also, there are t-shirts and also the statues too. Buddhist statues, Butsuzo. If you contribute a certain amount, there are different levels of the statues. Some are very affordable, some are not so affordable, but it's a pristine. So that would be my offer to people.
That's wonderful. We're thinking the same way. We're thinking.
No, because I know that people know that I'm going to go after their money. I mean, I got to make it exciting and entertaining and be a fun event for people.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
that's my goal for doing the crowdfunding campaign. Not to just say, hey, can you donate me money? So that won't do it, I think. Because I would like to offer this the creation that I've been working on it for 10 years, long time.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Well, no, I think with crowdfunding, this is, I mean, in recent years, it's become very popular. In the old days, you would have had to go get a sponsor, somebody who has a lot of money and they don't know what to do with it. And so you have to talk to so many people. Now, average person can afford like $50, watch this movie and see the behind the scenes deleted. They pay a little more, and get a little statue or t-shirt. Average people can have the joy of being a part of this. This becomes a part of their identity. This is something I identify with. I like this. I'm willing to help as much as I can. And so many people all contribute. I think it's a great idea.
Oh, thank you so much, because this is the fastest way for us to be able to deliver the film to people too. Because if I keep negotiating with the distributors, and some distributors want me to change the content of Mr. Hayes, they want to make it like Hollywood, like, oh, cannot be like this. I know they don't like they talk about politically correct. You have to be sensitive to people's feelings, but this defeat the purpose of the film. I want to deliver the tradition as it is, and I want to tell people the authentic story of Japan, no fantasy story of Japan. So that's I thought would be much more efficient for me to do the crowdfunding and deliver the true film to you.
I think if you just tell people that, in one like killer sentence, I'm being censored. I want to present the real truth because I think there's value in the real truth. There's another way of looking at life. Are you willing to help me do that? Because the very wealthy producers, distributors, I don't fit their narrative. You might find people very interested in helping you kind of what we call buck the system. Buck the system. You go around them. Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for taking your precious time to talk about Carving the Divine today.
Oh yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. Always willing to and excited to help. I believe in your project.
Oh, thank you so much. And I hope to collaborate with you in the future project as well. So thank you so much again.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.